So what would happen if football had to restart? Every club had no players, every club had no staff members, and all those people were available as free transfers. Would we see massive difference? Personally, I don't have a clue, but we're going to find out in today's experiment. So hello, welcome back to the TomFM channel. Hope you're all doing well today. I was scrolling through the internet the other day looking for cool databases on Football Manager because, quite frankly, I've got nothing better to do right now. Anyway, I came across this database where every single player and staff member is listed as a free agent. I thought that would make a pretty exciting experiment. So I downloaded it, put it into the game, loaded it up, and here we are. There's a link down in the description if you want to download it. I can't take credit for it, obviously, because it's not my database, but someone else has made it, put it up for download, so go and check it out. If we click on Manchester United, for example, it says Harry Maguire and David De Gea still play there, but that's because we've not clicked continue yet. If we have a quick look at the senior squad, no real players there. It's always greyed out fake players to just sort of fill the squad up in case they do have to play games and things like that. Every single player is available for free transfer. If we go to this player search and search it by current ability, you can see Messi, Ronaldo, De Bruyne, Neymar, Eden Hazard, all free transfers, all available to any club in the world to buy. Well, not buy, it's just offer a contract to, isn't it? That's all it is. Potentially, if a club had the money, they could get both Messi and Ronaldo in the same side. So my plan is essentially to just go a couple years into the future and just see what chaos ensues because of all of this. So I'm going to go on holiday for a year, simulate a season, come back after that season, and we'll see who's gone where, and that should be pretty exciting. Before we do that though, I would massively appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video. Best thing you can do for a video, so please drop a like on it for me. That would be massively appreciated. And of course, if you're new around here, there are plenty of experiments on my channel. There's loads of other content for you as well, so click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stick around for all the other content. Go on then, press like and subscribe. I'm not going to click go on holiday until you do it, so we're waiting for you. Thank you, there we go. Go on holiday. And here we are, back a year into the future. A whole season has played by. Now, because of the way the game works, you have to have at least one league loaded up. So I've got the English leagues and the Chinese leagues loaded up. But also we've got tons of leagues made viewable as well. So we go and check out a lot of different top flight divisions and see what's gone on in those different divisions. First things first though, I want to see where some of these big players have ended up. So I'm going to go on the player search, sorted by current ability. So we've got all like your Messi's, Ronaldo's at the top, and see where they've ended up. So, 1 year into the future, according to the game by current ability, Kylian Mbappe is the best player in the world, and he's currently playing for Inter Milan in Serie A, which is very interesting. He decided to not go back to PSG. I'm sure he got offers from every single club in the world as a free agent, but he chose Inter Milan, interestingly. Real Madrid, by the way, have done brilliantly. They've got Kevin De Bruyne, Ronaldo, they've got him back again, Van Dijk, Harry Kane, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, the former Barcelona keeper, and then Raheem Sterling as well. That's pretty impressive. Now, this database doesn't massively affect the reputation or finances of clubs. So Real Madrid, obviously one of the most reputable clubs in the world. They've got all the money in the world as well, pretty much. They can afford to just bring in all of these superstars. So I suspect that Real Madrid have done very well off the back of this. But also interesting to see that the Chinese clubs are snapping up a lot of the most talented players in the world. Neymar's gone there on £400,000 a week. Griezmann's gone there to Beijing on £325,000 per week. Sadio Mane there and Aguero there, both there on £300,000 per week respectively. What this could mean if we get to Club World Cups and things like that, we could see some of these Chinese sides getting through and actually winning it if they have really good players like this. Just scrolling down a little bit, Ederson's gone to Borussia Dortmund, Robert Lewandowski at Real Madrid, Courtois at Bayern Munich, Gareth Bale finally gets his move to China on £350,000 per week. Frankie de Jong also at Real Madrid. Real Madrid done so well out of all of this. Salah and Suarez both in China. Jan Oblak at Werder Bremen, interestingly. Maybe they could be a bit of a powerhouse in the Bundesliga with a good goalkeeper like that. De Gea's gone to Napoli. We've got Arthur, the Brazilian Arthur. He's one of the best players in the world according to this, and he's gone to Osasuna in Spain. And Lautaro Martinez has gone to Bologna, so potentially we could see these two sides do pretty well in their domestic leagues. Interesting as well, in these like top 20, 30 odd teams or something like that, no player has gone to the Premier League, which I find very interesting. In fact, let's scroll down till we see the first Premier League side. Alisson has gone over to Chelsea. That's the first Premier League player we have seen. That's interesting. We've expected a lot of really good players to go over to the Premier League, but obviously not. They've taken their chances elsewhere. I mean, Bayer Leverkusen getting quite a few decent players in there. Donnarumma, Pjanic in there as well. I think they had a few more players further up the list as well, so That's interesting. Let's start off then with the Premier League, just to start off with then. After this first season, Man City won the title with Tottenham in second, Liverpool third, Arsenal fourth, Man United fifth, but Southampton in sixth and Brighton seventh. They've done pretty well out of this then. Not doing so well, Aston Villa, Norwich and Wolves. They are all relegated. Okay, this Man City side then. Let's click on this Man City team. Or in fact, what we should do instead, go to season preview. The best lineup possible out of this entire division. We've got Alisson in goal for Chelsea, Eder Milito at Man City. We've got Bruno Guimaraes at Tottenham. We've got Francisco Asarabi at Liverpool. Where does he play in real life? He plays for Lazio in real life, interestingly. Okay. Junio Firpo, at Man United. Where did he play in real life? Real Hispalis or Real Betis. Okay, interesting. Dusan Tadic on the left wing. Danny Piero in the centre midfield for Liverpool. Bruno Fernandes playing for Liverpool as well. Angel Correa for Man City. We've got Everton up front for Man City as well. And we've got Dejan, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his surname, playing for Manchester United. He came from Atalanta, interestingly. Okay, well, that's interesting. And not perhaps got quite so many high-profile names as it does in real life, which is interesting. We look on Man City, the team that won it then. So they've got Mignolet in goal, interestingly. A few of the players that we've spoken about, Tagliafico at left back there. Gini Wijnaldum in the CDM position. They've got Gabriel. Interestingly, they play Dusan Tadic up front. Fair enough, interesting. And then Everton out wide and Correa out wide on the other side as well. I tell you what, I'm actually quite interested in the Southampton and Brighton sides that did so well this season. Southampton in sixth, they've got they've got Fran Beltran and Phil Foden in the midfield, so potentially if they keep hold of them, they could be quite decent players. They've got Calvin Stengs up front, so they've gone for a bit more of the younger side, looking to push forward and develop them to the future. They've got Calvin Phillips as well, he's a very good player as well, so potentially, I think Southampton done very well with that, particularly in Brighton. They've got Bebe playing for them. Is he the former Man United Bebe? Is this the one I'm thinking of? It is, blimey. He's come all the way back to the Premier League to play for Brighton. So Brighton, they've got some decent players in there, I've got to say. You've got Ryan Gravenberch in midfield. He's a very, very good potential player. Jude Bellingham as well. So they've got a midfield for the future, definitely in those two. Interesting stuff. It's just thrown up quite a few surprises so far. Quite a few surprises. Let's go to the Spanish First Division, the Liga. Obviously, Real Madrid won it massively because they've got so many good players. But Dele Alli's playing there for Atletico Madrid. Andrea Belotti for Seville. And Osasuna have got Martial as well. They only finished 13th, Osasuna. But I feel like, oops, I clicked on the wrong team there. I think they've got a pretty decent side. They've got Arthur, Martial, Hernandez, Mason Mount. They've got lots of potential in this side. A lot of potential in that side that they could potentially unlock at some point. Ezekiel Barco as well, he's quite young. I think they've got a decent team, Osasuna. Give it a few seasons, Osasuna, I think they'll do pretty well. Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen ended up winning it, and we thought they might do that because they signed some really good players, pushing Bayern Munich into second. Werder Bremen did very well as well with Oblak in goal for them. Leipzig down in sixth. They've not had such a great time. And Hertha Berlin right down at the bottom of the table as well. Schalke in 10th. Some teams actually, I think this has changed a little bit. Frankfurt all the way down there as well. I feel like this has affected things a little bit in the Bundesliga, more than it has the other leagues so far. Serie A, Lautaro Martinez is the top goal scorer, but can't prevent Juventus winning another league title, interestingly. Mbappe second. Aubameyang's gone over to Juventus, as you can see there as well. Saul also at Juventus. Riyad Mahrez at Riyad Mahrez at AC Milan as well. This is pretty interesting stuff. Bologna have managed to get themselves up to fourth as well with the help of Lautaro Martinez's goal. So they've got Champions League football next season. Atalanta, interestingly, I think are one of the most underrated teams in Europe at the moment. They find themselves in 16th. They've not come out very good of this. I think they lost a lot. Well, they obviously lost everyone, but weren't able to get back the quality of players that they had before and haven't really got a fantastic side, unfortunately. League we have to go back into this and look who won it last season. PSG ended up winning it last season, unsurprisingly. Who have they got in there? Okay. This is a bit odd. PSG have like no one good in their squad. They've got loads of greyed out players. They hardly signed anyone. In fact, most of these players are regens by looks of things because they're all 16 years old. So they only managed to sign 4 players. Alexander Isak, Saka, Wolf and Moya. Angel Moya. That seems really bizarre. All on really low wages as well. I don't know what's gone wrong with PSG here. But only PSG can only sign 4 players and yet still win the... Just doesn't help, does it, with the reputation of the league massively, does it? But Monaco runners-up. Who did they manage to get into their squad? They got a full team. They've got Brozovic, Varane, Alba, Higuain, Mkhitaryan. They've got such a good side. How have they come runners-up to PSG's team of nobodies. That seems really weird. Really weird. I'm not quite sure what's gone on there, but that's weird. In Portugal, Porto have gone on to win the title with Benfica in second and Sporting down in fourth ahead behind Braga, interestingly. Top scorer is Ben Yedder, who seems to have done very well. Thiago Silva's there as well. Adnan Januzaj's there. Fabio Silva's done very well with Maritimo, very well to get third top goal scorer. Interesting stuff there. Martin Skriniar, or Milan Skriniar there, sorry, as well. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Centre back? Yeah, it must be the one I'm thinking of. Was that Inter Milan? Yeah. Okay, interesting. Ajax ended up winning the Eredivisie with PSV runners-up, but FC20 and Vitesse right up there. I don't think that's particularly usual. I don't think. In recent years, at least, I've got to say. I think you'll normally finish a bit lower down than that. But Mark Noble is apparently the best player in the division, getting a 7.29 average rating across the entire division. Just want to have a quick look in Brazil as well. Have they managed to sign any good players? They've got Rafael Santos Borre, but I think he was playing in Brazil before then anyway, or Argentina, so okay. They've got Oscar as well. He's back playing in Brazil after coming back from China. Interesting stuff. Okay, I thought we might see a few more European faces potentially in Brazil. We've got the Argentinian league loaded up as well, though they've not played any games yet. So if we go back to last season, Boca end up winning that just ahead of Racing Club there. But clubs like Rosario Central getting relegated, I feel like they're quite a decent side. That's a bit surprising. Who have Boca got in their squad then? Quickly have a look at the senior squad. They've got Marcus Rojo. He's back at the club. Interesting. But I won't lie to you. I can't say I've heard of many other of these players at all in the squad. So I suppose they haven't signed either many European players as well. So what we'll do now then is go 5 years in the future, look at some of the biggest transfers, which players are where, and just do a little bit of stuff like that. But I think this first season is obviously the biggest change that we're going to see. So we'll go 5 years in the future and see what's happened. Okay, so back now in 2025, let's have a quick look at who are the best players and where they're currently playing. If we sort this by current ability, scroll right up to the top. Mbappe's still at Real Madrid. Oh, he's gone to Real Madrid, sorry, Mbappe. Gone to Real Madrid. He left Inter Milan. After, looks like 2.5 seasons with Inter Milan, he went off to Real Madrid for £101 million and has done very, very well there, I've got to say. Frankie de Jong also at Real Madrid as well. But Eduardo Camavinga at Bayern Munich. We've got this guy here, Johan Campo at Tottenham. I presume he is a regen. He is a regen. We're going to see quite a few regen, I think, pop up in this. But Kai Havertz at Barcelona. Ander ter Stegen still at Real Madrid. Another regen there. A few more regions down here as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold at Bayern Munich as well. Barcelona picking up quite a few good players as well, actually. Alisson, Jadon Sancho. Haaland's gone to Man City. Kane's at Real Madrid still, as is Sterling. Sandro Tonali at Liverpool. Okay, we've got some decent players here. Again, Lautaro Martinez now at Real Madrid. His time at Bologna came to an end as he was sold for £110 million for Tottenham. Tottenham bought him first and they went to Real Madrid. Donnarumma at Man City as well. Rashford at Arsenal. João Felix at PSG. So we've seen a bit of change, I've got to say. Champions League winners over the past few years haven't changed too much, I've got to say. Obviously, Real Madrid were going to win it in that first season because they had such a good side. And it seems to have passed between them and Barcelona for a good few years until Man City got in there 1 year to win it. But then Real Madrid won it again. Europa League looks interesting though. Seville have won it, Real Sociedad have won it, Inter Milan, Liverpool, Bayer Leverkusen and Real Sociedad won it twice, interestingly. Runners-up Chelsea, Schalke, Arsenal, PSG, Napoli and Zenit, interestingly enough. And Europa Conference League, Arsenal end up winning it, Torino, Borussia Mönchengladbach and West Ham. SK Rapid Vienna finishing runners-up twice. That's really frustrating for them, but Olympiacos and Shakhtar also getting to the finals of that one. Portugal end up winning the 2022 World Cup according to this, with Brazil as runners-up and England in third place. That's positive for us English fans at least. Premier League looks to be dominated by Man City and Tottenham, but Man United did get a win in there, as we did predict earlier on in this save, which is interesting. Which clubs have come up and stayed there? Derby have come up and stayed there, as have Fulham, interestingly enough. La Liga seems to be dominated by Real Madrid and Barcelona, as you would expect. So we didn't quite see Osasuna or Athletic Pamplona get up there and actually do anything decent there with the good players they had right at the start. But as you can see, Mbappe just running the division. Serie A still dominated by Juventus, but AC Milan have got in there as well. Bundesliga is still Bayern Munich, although actually Borussia Dortmund got in there, as did Bayer Leverkusen. Monaco won one Ligue 1 title, but unfortunately PSG have gotten there and just keep winning it. Porto are the dominant side in Portugal. In Russia, Zenit and CSK Moscow keep swapping titles. Eredivisie, Ajax, PSV and Vitesse ended up winning it there at one point. The Brazilian league seemed to switch up a little bit. We've got Corinthians, Santos, Corinthians Corinthians, Palmeiras and Corinthians twice there. Argentina, River Plate winning it massively, Independiente won it, and Boca Juniors as well. Obviously, we saw loads of really good players go to China right at the start, but by looks of things, there aren't really many good players there at all right now, at least players that I don't recognise. You can see the competition reputation has taken a massive hit, down to 8th at one point, up to 7th, just ahead of North Korea, but has taken a massive hit there, which is very bizarre. Well, I thought that was pretty interesting. Maybe not quite to the level of disruption that we might have expected to see, because I suppose we didn't affect reputation or anything like that. If we did have a database about this, but reputation was all destroyed, and as was finances, we could see something very, very different. So if someone's a whiz on database and thinks they can do that, let me know, because that would be interesting to do at some point. Either way, thank you ever so much for watching today's video. If you've not done it already, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I would massively appreciate that. We've got loads of other content on the channel. The Around the Block save's getting pretty decent at the moment, so get yourselves involved in that one. And I'll see you next time, so have a lovely evening. Goodbye.